Hi there, students. Here we are at the website for project-based learning, the PBL Checklist for Teachers.org. And I want to do a little demo with this website for you because these checklists are a lot more versatile than you might realize on first evaluation. So the first thing that I'm going to do is put my name in here because often I would have students, teams of students, work together, and each of the students would name they would create their own checklist, and so you would have to be able to identify those in the printer. And for the project title, I'm just going to call this Demo. So I'm thinking about my project. My project is going to be, I want students to have a tool to evaluate whether or not the letters, we're writing a friendly letter, and I want them to be able to evaluate whether or not those components are in place, the things that we've been stressing. So first thing we're looking at now is capitalization. So if I click open here, it will give me a drop-down box, and I'm going to look at this and I think I'm going to select names of people, names of months, and capitalized titles of books and movies and add those to the list. But I have been stressing with my students that they need to capitalize the letter heading and the closure, and I want to include those, so I can type those options into this box. I have capitalized the heading, I have capitalized the closure. So I can modify this and create a more specific checklist. So now I come to the second box, but I have capitalization here. So I scroll down to the next option, which is conventions, and click open and see what they are suggesting. I think I'm going to be very specific. I'm not sure that my paragraphs or sound is clear enough to my students, so I'm going to give them very clear directives. I want them to have that kind of punctuation. I want them to use apostrophes, and my students are handwriting this, so I'm just going to include that my handwriting is legible. And I will add that to the list. And I will go down to the third box, and again, done capitalization and conventions. I'll look at fluency. I think I'm just going to say that I have no run-ons and no sentence fragments and add those to the list. And I'll go down to capitalization here, scroll down conventions, fluency, let's look at ideas. I think that I want my students to have used a brainstorming tool, and I want them to be listening to their peers, and I want them to write in their own. Well, this is a friendly letter, right? So I think that this is all I need. And I'll scroll down to this next box and look at organization, see what that has to offer. I don't think any of those apply to my project, so I'm not going to take any from organization, and I'm going to look again at the last option, which is word choice. And I don't want to use those. I'm going to write my own, and my word choice is I have used 5 keywords from the word wall. And that's my last directive for the checklist. So I scroll down to the bottom and create a printable checklist. Click here. And there's my checklist. So you can see that you can really differentiate this list very specifically for your project. It's a very, very useful tool. I find it most effective to turn the responsibility for creating these checklists over to students. They can start off using the framework that is provided by this website, and they certainly can add, per your directions, these more specific and differentiated expectations. So that's PBL Checklist, a very, very useful tool.